Welcome back to Thinking Cap. Just one game week to go before the FPL season ends, and in this video I'll be discussing what to do with Alexander Isak, whether you should sell him to fund a premium swap involving Bukayo Saka. We'll also run through the best transfer targets ahead of game week 38. Okay, before we get into it, 50 likes is the aim. Subscribe if you're new around here. And first, we're going to talk trends, and in particular, some final day trends, which will help you with some of your decisions and kind of how to navigate towards those transfers, those final transfers. Historically, Game Week 38 has always been a very high scoring game week. Look at the difference in average goals per match across the first 37 game weeks compared to Game Week 38 in the previous seasons. In all of the last 5 seasons, we've seen over 3 goals per game on the final day, which hints at an all-round goal fest this Sunday. Why is Game Week 38 so high scoring? Well, it's partly down to the difference in motivation between some teams. For some clubs, there's absolutely nothing to play for. And for others, it's the whole season on the line. For instance, like an Aston Villa, for a Chelsea. And look, we have a saying in FPL known as on the beach, which is basically a team that doesn't care about the upcoming games. All they really care about is, just relaxing, re-energizing for the summer, for next season, whereas you have other teams who are full of motivation. And some of those on-the-beach teams, Liverpool, they've been on the beach for a few weeks, partying after winning the league. All of the bottom 3 teams who have already been relegated, they are also on the beach fighting for nothing. Tottenham is the new addition to this list after winning the Europa League final. I mean, we saw pictures on Twitter, on social media. The Spurs players were up till 5 a.m. last night, partying in celebration of their first trophy in, I think it's 17 years. And also Crystal Palace as well. They won the FA Cup, first trophy in their club history. They're also on the beach. Glasner, he's dipped off to Ibiza for a few days to celebrate. So, look, there's quite a few teams that are on the beach, teams that we can definitely target for goals. And based off the historical stats on the final day, everything just points to a hell of a lot of goals this weekend. The league has also seen a 5-goal thrashing on every single final day for the last 5 years. So when you're making your transfers over the next few days, if you're taking hits, whatever you're doing, make sure that they're for attackers with motivation playing teams that are on the beach. Okay, we're going to take a look at some of the goal projections, clean sheet projections for the final day. And once again, that same theme of goals is really noticeable in this graphic from Rob TFBL. Shout out to him. Great account to follow. You want to target teams who have those clean sheet odds above 40%, goal projection odds over 2.0. And there's actually 6 teams this week projected to score over 2 goals this weekend. And that's absolutely huge. There's a lot of attacks that are highly rated by the markets. And from an investment standpoint, I actually prioritize the likes of a Bournemouth and Brighton attack over the likes of a Liverpool and a Newcastle. For me, Tottenham are by far the most on-the-beach team that we have access to targeting this game week. And no, that's not just because I'm a Manchester United fan. I'm bitter. They are drinking. They're out late partying. We saw this last season, 5-0 Crystal Palace. Aston Villa were celebrating Champions League football. They got thrashed on the final day. So these 5-10% differences, they really do count at the end of the day. And for me, Brighton, they're still pushing for European places. I think they have plenty of motivation. Postecoglou, he's not even thinking about the Brighton game right now. So I do expect a hungover Spurs team to get walloped this weekend by a Brighton side, still chasing that potential European place. To get that, they need Chelsea to not finish in the top 5, but still win the Conference League final. And in that situation, the spot would drop down to Brighton, whoever finishes 8th. So Brighton attack, motivation, check. Fixture, check. Playing on the beach team, check. They got everything you want in an investment standpoint. I would definitely be looking at a Welbeck and some other attackers who we're going to talk about later in this video. Bournemouth, look, they don't have that same level of motivation, but they are playing a Leicester team who are dog shit. They have nothing to play for, Leicester. And look, we are all expecting this Bournemouth team to get absolutely fleeced in the summer. They're losing their big talents. Dean Huijsen, Milos Kerkez, Semenyo, and more importantly, this could be the final home match in Andoni Iraola's impressive tenure at Bournemouth Football Club. So I do expect a huge cherry win, giving this perfect send-off to some of their top-level talents and obviously their elite coach. And I think Evan Nilsson, absolute no-brainer consideration if you're looking to bring in a striker. If you're looking in the midfield spots, I'd probably back Antoine Semenyo over Justin Kluivert just because Antoine Semenyo has that guaranteed 90 minutes over Justin Kluivert. He just got subbed at halftime. Hook and stinker against Manchester City. So I would probably back Antoine Semenyo if you want a midfielder from that game. Now, Liverpool Arsenal attackers, the odds really great for them this week, but apart from Salah and Saka, the X minutes, they look a little bit more unpredictable. Maybe an Odegaard's a little bit safe, but he's still pricey. You don't know about a Trossard. You don't know about Martinelli. Havertz is back in the equation. So those two teams are a little bit more unpredictable. You'd have to get leaks, and ultimately, we have never really gotten accurate Arsenal leaks. Who knows, maybe we'll get something for the Liverpool game. But even then, if you go for a Cody Gakpo, a Diaz, a Jota, who says they're not going to get 65 minutes, get subbed off? So ultimately, I don't think any of them are as safe, which is why I prefer Bournemouth and Brighton attacks better in terms of investment. And I said this before, and I'll say it again, do not make defensive transfers this week unless you really need to. If you need to move off a Saliba, you have a Munoz sitting on your bench, then I'd go for the likes of a Milos Kerkez or a Huijsen. I think that's pretty much a guaranteed clean sheet. Their clean sheet odds are very good, and I think Kerkez, he does offer the kind of attacking license necessary to warrant a defensive transfer this late in FPL. So overall, I just stick it out with whatever defenders you've got though. If you got a solid back three, it's not great, it's not perfect, just play them because it's not really worth using your transfer there, and use your transfers, take your hits, whatever you're going to do in those attacking spots, because goals galore is on the forecast. Okay, so this is arguably the biggest dilemma ahead of Game Week 38, and that's what to do with Alexander Isak, who missed Game Week 37 because of injury. Should you keep him? Should you sell him? And if you sell him, is it worth making the premium swap, moving the cash into the midfield by going for Bukayo Saka away to 20th in the league, Southampton? One of the FPL content creator GOATs, FPL Raptor. If you don't know him on YouTube, go check him out. He's one of the best content creators around. He posted a tweet a few hours ago, which I thought he just summarized the situation perfectly, so that's why I've got it up here. But basically, he went through all of the Newcastle team training photos. I think it was for a Wednesday training. There was none with Alexander Isak in it. We've got journalists coming out reporting that Isak is a 50-50 call doubt on Sunday, so he's actually not been in. Now, we also got news earlier today, that he has been in individual training, but he's not been in team training just yet. This is, by the way, what, Thursday, Friday? It's not looking good, man. It's not looking good. Although, look, they need him, but I still think Everton are weak. I can only speculate to whether he's going to start or not. I can only speculate. But let's say the general consensus, let's say in 24 hours, the general consensus, the content creators, everybody's thinking he's getting no minutes. He's not going to start. In that case, I think that this premium swap is something you should 100% consider, because Southampton's a great fixture. Right wingers always do well against them. They have a zonal weakness down that side. I think Kyle Walker-Peters might be out as well. And I genuinely believe Bukayo Saka is worth the transfer in against a shit opposition. He might be over 100% ownership, EO, but I still think he might just creep under it, because I think a lot of people will just navigate back to Mo Salah. So I think he still can gain you rank unless there's a big flock at the end. And on the flip side, if the general consensus is leaning towards Isak starting, then I'd definitely be holding Alexander Isak and not do this premium swap, because Everton probably without both first choice centre halves, no Branthwaite, who pulled his hamstring just last week. Tarkowski's been out for a few weeks. He will be out for Game Week 38. So it's going to be a Michael Keane, O'Brien centre back partnership. And that matchup, I expect Isak to return definitely against that level of opposition. So it's definitely a one to watch case with Alex. But if you think he won't start, I genuinely think Bukayo Saka is worth it, and I would strongly consider this premium swap. We're on a 3-game week sleeper pick return streak. We had Sade in 35, Wan-Bissaka in 36, and Jamie Vardy recommended in 37. The final selection of the season, I've gone for Brighton's Yankuba Minte. He's dirt cheap, guys. Dirt cheap, sitting at 4.8 mil. All of you guys can get to him if you're looking at a midfielder. And he's selected in just 1% of teams in FPL right now. So he's a huge differential. Nobody has access to his points. You guys already know how highly I rate the Tottenham fixture. I've already spoken about it in this video. So the key equation really with nailing the successful Brighton attacker in this game is really getting the expected minutes right. And apart from Welbeck, and maybe you can say an informed Gruder, most of the Brighton attackers, especially the wingers, are rotation risks, except for Yankuba Minteh. He started all 7 of Brighton's most recent league games away from home, and Minteh has started the last 3 in a row as well in the league, home and away. He's an established asset already. He's on double-digit involvements this season. His underlines were actually surprisingly good. Not only does he offer decent creative potential, but he's actually a good finisher. His post-shot XG ranks 13th best amongst all midfielders in FPL right now. His non-pen XGI per 90, top 25 midfielder. He's an XG overperformer, 6 goals from 4 XG this season. He's also got that explosive potential to his game as well. Both of his double-digit hauls also were against Big Six opposition this season. Brace against Chelsea, 1 goal, 1 assist against Manchester United. Minteh also bagged in the reverse fixture against Tottenham as well. So there's a lot of good things going for Yankuba Minteh, and for me, he's the best budget enabler in the midfield available if you're considering minutes, fixture, motivation, and the potential for explosive output. I don't think you can get all 4 of those in one package anywhere else. If you're in the market for a differential, please do consider Minteh at 4.8 million. That's all I've got for this one. Drop a like and let me know in the comment section if you've enjoyed my content this season. This will be the last meta moves of this campaign. And look, if there's anything you think I can improve, things you want to see next season maybe, do let me know in the comment section, and best of luck guys on the final day.